my kitchen for a new dessert devotion. This devotional is a part of my Community Kitchen series. Now, we know what good food can do for our souls in our own kitchen. Imagine if your kitchen prepared good food to nourish and transform an entire community. Our special guest today is Executive Director of the Food Mill, Olivia Amos. And our featured dessert is a sweet potato pie, just in time for Thanksgiving. And I'm going to show you how to prepare this with a low sugar or a gluten-free option. Let's get started. I'm starting here with 3 medium sweet potatoes. It's about 2 heaping cups. I bake them in the oven on about 400 for 90 minutes. Just make sure they're nice and tender. One trick my mom always taught me was after you've run the beaters through the sweet potatoes, lift them up, and whatever comes off those first few major strings, be sure to rinse those off of your beaters so that your pie isn't stringy before you move on to add your next ingredients. Now I'm going to add a stick of softened butter, 2 beaten eggs, and to sweeten our pie, we're going to add the Swerve sugar alternative. This sweetener comes in a granulated sugar alternative and a brown sugar alternative. So I'm going to add a half a cup of the Swerve granulated sugar and half a cup of the Swerve brown sugar alternative. The great thing about Swerve is that it measures 1-to-1, which means that if you want to make the recipe with regular sugar and regular brown sugar, it's still half a cup of each. Now I'm going to add my spices. I'm adding a teaspoon of cinnamon, a pinch of nutmeg, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now I'm going to add a half cup of heavy cream. I've often made my sweet potato pies with evaporated milk, but the cream has less sugar. Then we'll finish this off with a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to pour my pie batter into a pre-made pie crust. You can use a regular store-bought graham cracker crust, or you can purchase a gluten-free graham cracker crust and you'll have a gluten-free sweet potato pie. I'm going to bake my pie on 350 for about 40 minutes. I know it's done when it's firm on the edges and there's a slight jiggle in the middle. As the pie cools, it will firm up. Well, in this Community Kitchen series of Dessert Devotion, we are so glad to have as our special guest today, Olivia Amos. She is Executive Director of the Food Mill, and we are going to learn all about the Food Mill restaurant, but not only that, what she is doing with good food in our community.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, first of all. What we try to do at the Food Mill and what our mission is to reduce those barriers that lead to food insecurity so people have equal access, and specifically to fresh local produce in the community. The North Highland area is our main focus right now. We're starting there because it does have one of the highest rates of food insecurity in Columbus. We started working with Tree Spring Academy initially and providing healthy prepared meals to their families at the start of the pandemic. And so one of the things that Carrie mentioned to us was having a healthy breakfast for the children at True Spring every morning. As everyone knows, that makes the biggest difference as far as the learning environment. As far as what we do with Fox Elementary, we started a food delivery program for their students and families that are food insecure. We started out doing healthy prepared meals for them as well. And then we sort of graduated them to produce bags. They get a bag of different types of meats and also some healthier shelf-stable items. And we're able to do this because of our partnership with Feeding the Valley Food Bank.
I am curious about the medically tailored meals program that you have with Mercy Med.
Yes, yeah, we this program is an unbelievable program. We're just so excited. It's a very unique program. There's only about 30 in the country that follow the Food as Medicine Coalition guideline. In partnership with Mercy Med, the Food Mill, we were able to hire a dietitian last fall. What we are focusing on with the medically tailored meal program is patients that suffer from diabetes, heart disease, and some of them actually have both. And so we prepare the meals on a weekly basis for the patients, and they come and pick them up. And so they receive 10 medically tailored meals a week. And then after 90 days of that, if they're able to cook for themselves, then they graduate to a produce prescription program, which Keith Sims manages through the Mercy Med Farm. A lot of times, no matter what your socioeconomic status is, when provider, your doctor tells you that you've got, diabetes, heart disease, you need to change your lifestyle to a healthier lifestyle. A lot of people don't know how to do that.
So the last thing I want to ask you about is the shared kitchen.
Yes. This is probably one of the more exciting pieces, of the programs that we have. We will be utilizing the Fox Community Center and building out the old cafeteria from the original Fox Elementary School into a shared kitchen space. So we'll have 3 shared kitchen spaces set up, and then we'll also have an additional baker's kitchen, so be specifically for people that are baking. And we're also going to be implementing programs in both Fox Elementary and True Spring that'll be farm to school programs and culinary programs that start at the elementary age. And then some programs for middle school children with the Boys and Girls Club programs that come through Fox as well. But one of the really exciting pieces of this is a partnership with Open Door Community House, and being able to expand on their culinary program and incubator program and offer this shared kitchen space to participants coming out of those programs.
I knew about the part with Open Door, but I didn't know about the part with the schools and getting the kids in the kitchen.
You really do have to start these practices early in life, and so that they become good habits instead of trying to break bad habits.
And so what is something that you are excited about right now that might be coming up in the short term or you're gearing up for?
Yeah, well, we are going to be making a really big announcement soon. We applied for a grant. We're really excited because it means that we're going to be able to launch a farmers market space right next to the cafe at the food mill. We'll be launching a mobile farmers market. And it'll also help us in implementing the shared kitchen space and the programs that we have planned at Fox and then at True Spring as well.
So how can people get involved? This is something that you wouldn't ask of a restaurant, right? Like, how can I get involved?
Yes. So there's several ways you can get involved. Obviously, volunteers, we could not do what we do without our volunteers. And just coming into the cafe, enjoying breakfast, lunch. We're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 3. And then also Saturdays from 8 to 2. We're open for brunch now. And then you can make donations to the food mill, actually through our nonprofit that we work under as You Grow Incorporated. And you can do that through our website, which is thefoodmill.org. Or we also have a Venmo account at the Food Mill. Yeah.
Well, Olivia, I just thank you for joining me as our special guest today on Community Kitchen. So thank you so much for your heart, for what you do and using your talent to really bless Columbus and really beyond.
Well, thank you. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Our sweet potato pie looks great. And once it's completely cool, you can cut it and enjoy a dessert that can be low in sugar and gluten-free. Remember, whether you are in Columbus or your own hometown, good food can change a community. Thanks for joining me. For more dessert devotion, be sure to follow me on social media.